What's going on there, folks? Good evening. It is the Earthmaster here with my co-host, Missy Mimis.
How's it going, guys?
And what's the date today? It is January...
It is January 5th.
No, January. See, you fell for that one.
February.
February 5th, 2022.
I was even looking straight at it. Lack of sleep.
Right? It is. We're going to get some sleep tonight, let me tell you. It's about 7:25 p.m. California time, and the latest quake out there, a 2.5 into the area of California region. Looks like right around the Antelope Valley area, south of the Tahoe region. Let's go ahead and check out the movement here on the latest map here from the USGS, showing that activity. By the way, man, the earthquake activity last night in Afghanistan originally came in. What was this earthquake? Like a 6.7?
6.8.
6.8. So look at that. They downgraded this thing majorly from a 6.8 to a 5.7.
11 kilometers.
Kilometers.
Magnitude.
You do need sleep.
I need sleep. We're funny tonight, guys, on this episode.
Oh, good Lord. 209 kilometers for that earthquake. There was also one that came in right recently today when we were coming back from Oregon. That came in, but then the USGS downgraded it. Where was that at? Tonga quake. That's right, the one that just came in. Wasn't that a 5.9?
It came in at a 6.0.
Was it 6.0 in the Tonga area?
Yep, and they downgraded
to 5.1. That's right. 207.7 kilometers for that earthquake. They've been doing a whole lot of downgrading, but
major downgrading too.
Something's going on. I mean, maybe there's some issues going on with telling how deep these earthquakes are. I don't know, but definitely been doing some major downgrading with all the earthquakes in the on the map recently.
Yeah.
So looking at the earthquake activity in Tonga, we're definitely seeing a ramping up of movement once again here along the Tonga and the Kermadec Trench up and down the area, with some subsequent movement down here into the New Zealand area just south here. Also some activity in Australia picking up, not showing up there on the USGS map, but we will check the EMSC model here in a little bit. Just got to remind me.
Okay.
Tonga earthquake activity, that 5.1. Well south of the volcanoes up here and way deep, right? 207 kilometers, and some activity up here to the north as well. Some further deep activity all over the place here today. We had some major deep movement, including a 4.4 recently at 566.8 kilometers. That's a whole lot of activity taking place here along this plate boundary and the Kermadec Trench, Tonga Trench area. So we definitely got to watch this pretty closely for subsequent surface quakes. What else we got here? 5.2 down here south of New Zealand. Pretty shallow earthquake movement up here taking place. And the majority of that earthquake looks like it's mixed in there, or actually prior to all the deeper activity today. So wouldn't doubt if we start to see a little bit further surface movement up here. But not to mention the activity up here along the trench. We've got to watch that pretty closely for some adjustment up there. Indonesia, a little bit of activity throughout the day today. Pretty shallow movement. Seen some activity out there in the area of the Philippine Trench, just to the south of it. The region here to the north. Japan Trench had a little bit of activity there, 4.5, and also way up here off the coast of Russia. This one's pretty shallow. Normally we see a whole lot of deep movement in the Sea of Osk. Is that right?
Maybe. I'm not even gonna attempt it.
Come on, you got to back me up here a little bit.
Kosk.
I thought it was just. I thought
maybe.
I thought it was just Osk. You know, like a whole word.
It could be.
It could be.
We'll get corrected.
We will. You think we would know that because we cover this quite a bit, but I've always said it as like Osk. Osk.
We'll definitely look into that.
Either way, right here, folks. Leave us a comment. We'll get corrected, no doubt. So a little bit of shallow earthquake activity here along the plate boundary. Kurokamanchaka Trench northward, pretty quiet, folks. This area still remains underneath a watch. You know, no telling how long it's going to take, but I think we're looking at a potential for a major quake here pretty soon. It's all been pretty quiet in that region. The Aleutian Trench, some activity out here in the kind of close to the Davidoff volcano. The Davidoff volcano area. A little bit of movement there. Also at a 3.0 in that vicinity, 114 kilometers below surface. and some activity ramping up in the Aleutian Trench as well. Let's bring up the all magnitude so we can see some further activity. Doesn't look as active as it did yesterday. I was looking at this map here, and there is some movement up here around the Cook Inlet, and it's somewhat up there in the magnitude 4.0. But overall, seen things kind of die down a little bit. Of course, as soon as I say that, it's probably going to ramp up again in the Gulf of Alaska, where we have been seeing quite a bit of movement actually within this region. You can see all that activity up and down the trench here, and also up here in the corner of the plate boundary on this Pacific fault system right here. The Yaga, what is that? Yaga Syncline?
Syncline? Yeah.
It's a fold and thrust belt here just into the plate boundary. Of course, you got the mega subduction zone here. This area is very capable of producing some pretty sizable earthquakes. But anyway, the activity that we have been seeing in the Aleutian Trench area kind of calming down a little bit, at least in the last 24 hours. Movement into the Mount St. Helens area again, with activity to the west still swarming. Seeing a deep area off to the west by about 20 miles or so of Mount St. Helens. It's this little cluster here of quakes down there at about 14 to 16 kilometers below surface. Not for sure what's going on down there. I believe it's got to do with the activity along the Cascadia. Let's go ahead and check and see how many earthquakes we've had here in this region over the last 7 days. And St. Helens has definitely seen some movement around the volcano itself. Nothing significant, but definitely a little increase in earthquake activity. So we got 43 earthquakes here within this region. We want to specifically single out this area of the swarming, about 17 in this area, but it's pretty deep. That's the thing. It's 14 to 17 kilometers below the surface. My nose is starting to get a little cluttery, but that's okay. We'll try and make it through it. Trying to adjust back to the California air, I guess. So yeah, gonna watch this area pretty closely. Not for sure exactly what's out there, but it's deep. It's not surface quaking, 14, 17 kilometers. Let's go ahead and check out the tremor map just to see if we got any further movement in that area. And tonight, nothing. Wow. What did we have yesterday? Didn't we have some further activity?
I think it was 47.
47.
And I think it jumped down from 288 from there, right? Yep.
288. Pretty good with the numbers there. Yeah, we had quite a bit of tremor a couple days ago here in the southern end of the Cascadia. Nothing, really nothing being reported throughout Washington area, which is kind of strange, but I'm just not 100% certain that they're reporting all the tremor activity here on the map with the activity that we're seeing here in Washington.
I know there's none in Oregon.
No earthquake activity, huh?
And
Zero.
A lot of it was a couple days ago, mostly near Medford. So it's kind of funny that Oregon's not seeing nothing, and we have all that activity up there. And the tremors all located in southern end.
There was one earthquake here off the coast of northern Cal into the Cascadia, 2.1 being registered here into the pretty close to the look at the depth there, 18.8 kilometers. So it's down dip of the mega thrust area, the Cascadia. Right around the right around the locked area. Of course, further downstream here you get, the deeper it becomes, and then it becomes the tremor activity on the tremor map. So, looks pretty quiet. I haven't been able to see the Northern California seismographs here because we've been up in Oregon the past couple days. But that's all that they're reporting right now as far as the Northern California region goes. That little earthquake there south of Eureka. Movement into the eastern part of the Sierra Nevada looks like a ghost town. This is pretty absent of earthquake activity, and this is all magnitudes. A little bit of movement here in a cluster around the Antelope Valley area. Looks like a 2.5 and a 1.4 within the region of the Walker, California area. And a little earthquake up here around the northern part of Lake Tahoe, 2.1. But overall, looking at the eastern part here, pretty quiet, folks. Some movement once again north of the Garlock fault structure, and over here southwest of Bakersfield, around the Willer Ridge. My lips are kind of chapped today from the coldness and the wind up there around the Mount Bachelor area today. See if I can spit this out. Of course, we did have a little bit of swarming activity down here a few days ago. Looks like that may be kicking up a little bit. Nothing significant yet, but definitely picking up here north of the Garlock shear zone. Southern Cal on the Pacific side, again, not a whole lot going on. Latest quake there in the Riverside area, 1.1, pretty shallow movement. And a little bit of activity here into the Salton Sea. Look at this. 1.1 at 22 kilometers. I'm thinking that hasn't been reviewed yet. Nope.
Oh, wow.
So it's still automatic status there. I was like starting to think that's got to be wrong on the depth of that earthquake. We don't really see too much deep movement here in the Salton Sea area. Yeah. If we do, that could be telling us something's going on here with the southern end of the San Andreas Fault. But that earthquake right there has not been reviewed by a seismologist yet. There's a 1.9 that came in, pretty shallow earthquake, and also a little one at the southern end of the Salton Sea area, 2.0. Intermountain West regions, look at that, pretty quiet. Not a whole lot moving out here throughout the Utah area or into the Wyoming region. Let's go ahead and check out the Yellowstone activity real quick. And looks pretty quiet. Not a whole lot going on. No major earthquake activity. Some microquakes here. Looks like earlier today. But overall, general movement here at the Yellowstone remains definitely below background levels. That is for sure. Eastern part of the country, pretty quiet as well. Some movement in the Oklahoma area and out here in the Tennessee area. Eastern part of Tennessee, right around the Great Smoky Mountains, 1.8 at 8.5 kilometers below the surface. What do we got? South America, pretty quiet as well. Puerto Rico has calmed down completely.
South America is completely quiet.
At least 4.0 and above.
Yeah.
We'll go ahead and check the EMSC model while we are at it. These guys here at the USGS sometimes show... actually, these guys... Hold on a second here. Go ahead and zoom into the South America region so we can see some further earthquake activity below the 4.0 threshold. And there's still quite a bit of 2s and 3s and whatnot, but nothing above that 4.0 threshold. Actually, up here, it looks like there was one. That may have been from yesterday, though. Even though it says 2.5, that's UTC time.
Yeah.
But overall, general movement here just confined to the 2 and 3 magnitude level.
It's been a while since we haven't seen 4.0 and above there.
What else we got here? Activity in the New Zealand region. This is kind of what we were talking about earlier. Some movement there in the 2 to 3 range. Right around the North Island area, the northern region of New Zealand. Right around the Hikurangi subduction zone, it looks like. Seeing a couple 3s. There's that earthquake that struck up here in the Australia region. 3.9 came in. I believe that came in as a 3.6 originally.
Yeah.
But things kind of kicking up a little bit in this area of the world. And let's see what else these guys are reporting here. There's some activity here in the 3 range up and down the Philippine plate, at least to the west. But overall activity, nothing above the 4.0 too much. And these guys are not reporting anything at all, once again, along the Japan Trench and the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. So
got some activity, looks like, in the Gulf of California there, too.
In the Middle America Trench, this area right here definitely sees some swarming. Let's see if I can bring this back down a little bit here. Up and down the Middle America Trench, seeing quite a few 3s. It's almost always moving. I've noticed that the EMSC is always reporting a bunch of 3s here within the region of the Middle America Trench. And that's definitely continuing. You can see all the activity up and down the South America region as well.
Yeah.
But when you look at the magnitude map here of the USGS, definitely nothing above the 4.0 threshold, at least in the last 24 hours. So
they're reporting, looks like some right there, up just below California in that one in the Gulf of California too. It looks like
on the EMSC model.
Yeah, looks like.
Let's see if we can zoom in.
They're in the lower.
Yeah, there's a little bit of activity right there. Looks like a 3. 3.3 and a 3.3 and a 3.3.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Looks like it. Looks like 2, right?
Yeah. That's kind of odd right there, huh? Unless this isn't, I don't know what's going on here. It's kind of weird. But yeah, definitely a little bit of activity, but again, nothing above the 4.0 threshold
Yeah.
with the USGS model. Hawaii has calmed down a little bit along the region within the last hour. Still seeing some movement, though, in Mauna Loa and the Kilauea volcano area, seeing a little bit of activity. Got to watch this Mauna Loa, though, pretty closely. Over 7 days or so, definitely been seeing a swarm of movement around the crater area and up just to the west of the region of Mauna Loa. Let's see what else we got here. My nose. Follow your nose, right? Poland had an earthquake last night. I did see this one come in, a 4.3, and also another 4.3 in the Greece region over the last 24 hours. And, of course, the 5.7 there in Afghanistan. But, man, overall, what do we got? Looking at the big picture here, it's just kind of looking at clutters in the Kermadec Trench once again and the Fiji Islands area. Just got to watch this pretty closely out here with all that deep movement going on. So we checked out the tremor. Not a whole lot going on tonight. That was from a couple days ago. Tremor activity shows zip 0. No tremor to report at all from any of the stations there that monitor the tremor activity. What else we got? Let's check out Earthquakes Canada here while we're at it. Let's see, I'm just pretty tired tonight, man. No sleep the past couple nights and the 6-hour drive up and back and all the driving in the snow makes for a fun trip, let me tell you. But I had fun, definitely had fun. Just need a good night's sleep. Not a whole lot shown up here on the Earthquakes Canada map. One little earthquake here from, I believe this was from a couple days ago. It was outside of the Quebec area, a 0.5. But overall, these guys aren't showing anything within the last couple days of earthquake activity in the Canada region. Pretty quiet.
Yep. Did we check out Yellowstone?
Yeah, there's nothing going on in Yellowstone. Zip 0, a couple microquakes. Yep.
Maybe solar weather.
We've got solar weather activity. That has, see how these sunspots have grown. Yeah, it kind of whimpered out, it looks like. Although 2939 still kind of showing a little bit of development and growth. 2940 and 2941 as well, kind of rotating within view. I believe we're still looking at somewhat of an elevated threat for a C flare, 70% chance. M flare at 15, and doesn't look like too much of a possibility there for the X flare at 1%. And for now, the geomagnetic forecast calls for pretty much calm conditions over the next couple nights. So we'll watch that. We'll watch that pretty closely. What else we got here, Missy Mimis? Is that about it?
I think that's about it for now.
Yeah, we're gonna probably try and rest up a little bit. Like I say, it's been a fun trip up to Oregon. Unfortunately, a lot of the roads are closed up there around the Three Sisters and the Newberry volcano area. But man, we definitely got to see quite a few volcanoes.
Oh yeah.
Up and down the Cascades that they're beautiful mountains, snow-covered peaks and whatnot. We're just kind of doing a little bit of studying on them as we drove down Highway 97 and some beautiful areas. Crater Lake. I was up there a couple years ago. Beautiful region in that area. Maybe we'll probably get up there maybe this summer. See if we can't get some more awesome pictures and video up there. But anyway, we're going to try and get up in the springtime once again around the Three Sisters area to see if we can't get further west around the uplift area, the 18-mile diameter region just to the southwest of the South Sister volcano, where that uplift is taking place. Just it's impossible right now to get up there. So, but it's on our list, definitely on our list. Hopefully that thing A lot of people say, well, it's not going to blow. You know, the news said it won't blow. Well, the news says this, the news says that. But whenever you have any kind of uplift and whatnot around any volcano, it's you know, obviously a good sign to be prepared and be alert on any potential rapid changes when it comes to volcanic activity. Alrighty, I'm going to jump off here, guys. Have a good night, and make sure you stay safe. Live stream is up and running, of course. And we'll chat you guys a little bit later. Peace out, everyone.
Peace out, guys.